Only person we could think of to ask is Elise.
In our house, I saw apparitions, lots of them.
Well, you.
How did Prime find out what I wanted to watch next? Well, apps like Netflix, Prime use many artificial intelligence algorithms to predict what we want to watch next. And matrix multiplication is one of the most important concepts behind such algorithms. Let me take the example of OTT to explain to you matrix multiplication and its importance. Now, let's take a matrix with 3 persons as rows and 2 genres, horror and comedy, as columns. The numbers there indicate how much a person likes that particular genre, with 0 being the least liked genre and 5 being the most liked genre. Now, let's take another matrix, but this time with 5 movies as the rows and the same 2 genres as columns. The numbers this time represents the content percentage of that particular movie, which is how scary or how funny that particular movie is. Now, go ahead and multiply both these matrices. We do that by the dot product method. That is, we take each element in the first row of A and multiply it with each element in all the columns of B subsequently. For example, first we take the first element of the first row of A and multiply it with the first element of the first column of B, that is 3 into 1, and add it with the multiplication of the second element in the first row of A and the second element in the first column of B, 5 into 4. Likewise, we repeat this with the other subsequent columns. This forms the first row of the resultant matrix. Next, we continue doing this with the second row of the first matrix and all the other subsequent columns of the second matrix. This forms the second row of the resultant matrix. This step is again repeated to form the third row of the resultant matrix. Voila, we get the resultant matrix now. This is an example of multiplication of matrices. We observe that for multiplication of 2 matrices A and B, the number of columns in A should be equal to the number of rows in B. For our example, the first matrix is of the order 3:2 and B of order 2:5. Then the product of these matrices A and B gave us a matrix of order 3:5. This resultant matrix now has the 3 persons A, B and C as the rows and the score obtained by the 5 movies after a prediction as the columns. Now, as we observe from the resultant matrix, person A will be suggested with movie number 5. Likewise, person B and person C will be suggested with the movie that has the highest value in the resultant matrix. I would like to point out that matrix multiplication is not the only concept behind the prediction algorithm. However, it is one of the most crucial parts of the whole ideation process behind predicting someone's favorite. Now look at your phones and tell me what your OTT platforms has suggested for you.